Hello everyone and welcome back to House of Harmony. My name is Madison. If this is your first time here, so much has happened since I've last done a video. I've moved, so you can see I'm in my new room. I'm very excited, as you can see right there. I got a super awesome decal of Metatron's cube, Archangel Metatron. And over here, as you can see, I have a beautiful display of my crystal bowl, my singing bowls, and all of my other crystals. And on top, got some incense and sage wands. So anyways, I just wanted to catch up and talk about a few things that's really been going on lately. And one of those really big things is that I am, first of all, 2 weeks out from flying to France for a singing competition, and I'm so excited. Yesterday I had a coaching with one of my maestros that I've worked with in the past. That's affiliated with the conservatory that I attended, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of yesterday's coaching, just so you get an idea of what it's like to really work on the repertoire and the types of things that are focused on to make a piece better, whether that's vocally or artistically, dramatically, how it's conveyed to the audience through different musical avenues or different musical aspects. So you're gonna see a little bit of that.
Too long. It was folle, right? Yeah. Folle. Right? It's actually, it's not a double L, it's hearing that voiced L on the bottom. Just hearing it. Yeah. It's nice to have this symbol of ma basti orvia. Then you have these tenutos, right? Son questi son. You can be a little bit more passionate on those 3 pickup notes. Okay. Okay. For now, go on though. Don't rush this entrance. When you're ready. S there. Good. This is lovely. Oh, you might have days too where you want the small glottal to help the onset, if you're feeling it. If for some reason it's not happening for you, add one. Just skip the onset.
Yeah, it usually helps, particularly in nervous situations.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. And you're not going to go like that. Okay, but I want to hear your voice and down here. Go, even there. Okay. Okay. jelly, dao jelly. You have to be more clearly articulated.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, can it be a little lighter?
Yeah.
Dove van, chissà la mamma mia che vuoi.
Okay.
Give it some more.
I'm actually recording today. I have to make some recordings for auditions to send in for pre-screening purposes, and it was interesting. I'm sitting here this morning, and it's been my first morning off in a week, and I've really been focusing on putting myself vibrationally at a place where I feel calm and peaceful and really grounded, centered. And so what I want to do is actually make this an experiment today, because recording brings a little bit of a sense of pressure, or being under pressure, because you have limited time and you may get one or two takes per song that you do, and with live recordings or recordings like this, you can't slice and cut, and so it's a one take all the way through. So I want to spend the time today before I go and record vibrationally aligning myself with the intent of being super grounded in my body and super calm, and with the type of focus I want to bring into this recording session, to feel at ease and again in flow with my own body and the sound producing process, because classical singing is not the easiest thing to do. And see if I can really slow down the brainwave state, because when you're doing work like this, you're thinking about so many counterparts. You're like, okay, I gotta memorize my music. I need to make sure I don't mess up. I need to make sure I come in on time. What about that one part that's really hard? What do I have to think about the processes in order to, execute it right? I want to see if I can do something that feels more in the flow of letting that go and letting more of an infinite intelligence take over. So I'm very excited for this particular experiment, because my hypothesis is that it's probably going to be better, just because coming from my own particular belief system and what I believe to be true about the universe, is that we are moving into a place where we are not in need of these physical exertions or these physical actions in order to produce a particular product or reach a particular goal. It's about vibrational alignment and doing the inner work. And I come from the belief that, 90% of it is setting up all of these mechanisms, these parts internally. So then the actions, the physical actions that are inspired from within are so efficient and so alignment that to our physical realm, it might seem like we're putting in little to no effort, but all of the effort per se was already done, and anything that's extra or excessive is not needed and is actually counterproductive. So I'm really excited to actually try this out today and see how it goes, and then report back to you guys. Okay, so, man, yesterday was quite an experience. Excuse me. So I'm filming this day after my recording, and I took the time to sit and meditate before my recording session and really focus on my breath like I wanted to. And I'm sad to say that I didn't actually go outside because I was running out of time, but nonetheless, I took the time to sit in the practice room for about 10 minutes after I warmed up and really focus on grounding myself and tapping into that breath. And so it was very interesting because yesterday I was so tired. I was just physically, energetically tired, and really for no reason, or no explainable, reason, like cause and effect here on this physical plane. But so I went in and did the recording session, and it was really interesting because the first part of the session was just me audio recording. So I was really able to focus on breathing and being in a flow state with my breath. And I'm gonna say the recordings turned out pretty fantastic, and I'm super stoked to see them or hear them. And then it got, into 45 minutes later, and I wanted to do some video recordings. Basically, all of that grounding and centering with my breath just went out the window because I was so mentally preoccupied with thinking about how I looked, not aesthetically, but my acting skills per se, and what I needed to do next. Have it all mentally figured out in real time, 5 seconds before. And I remember just finishing the video recordings. I was like, wow, that is such a different experience than the audio recordings, where I was very much centered within my own self and really tapping into, this mechanism that is, like, probably, other than our consciousness, the one constant thing in life. And so it was definitely a learning experience, and particularly, going into situations where I do have to be in front of people and I'm visually seen, whether by a panel or an audience, is that I need to find a way to stay in that centered space, connected to my breath and in that flow state, while not just completely shutting off. And it's very difficult. And it's one of those things that, great performers or actors, particularly actors who need to be in that flow state of empowerment, but trying to portray an emotion that is contradictory to that. So yeah, it was definitely interesting, but I'm super thrilled about how I felt with the first, all the audio recordings, and me giving my time to sit down and really center, and how that had such a fantastic impact on, the outcome, in me being aligned and having everything be much more efficient. So those are my recordings, and I finished and I was so drained. And last night I had a MeetUp group event, which is my own personal meetup that I run. And I was so tired, but of course I needed and wanted to go. So I mustered up the energy to get ready, and I went and I met people who are regulars of this meetup, as well as new people, and this experience was beautiful, and I'm going to explain why. Towards the end of this meetup, and this particular event is basically come have drinks or water or food, and you can talk about anything and anything spirituality related. So it's pretty open-ended and pretty free-flowing. And two of the regulars who come both commented or started a conversation how the reason why they feel so inspired to continuously coming back is because every time they leave, or actually in the midst of the conversation that we're having in that environment with those people, is that they just feel an opening, an expansion, or literal heart palpitations, which is a kind of a physical manifestation of the heart vortex or the heart energy center actually expanding and opening up and activating. And I remember sitting there and both of them saying that, and even right now it makes me want to cry, how fulfilled I felt, because it's kind of, you know, it kind of hits home. It's kind of a personal mission in wanting to provide that sort of opportunity for people, because ultimately I know that we are one, and ultimately being of service in this sort of way, you know, in turn, it makes me feel so good. And even right now, it's, you know, tears of feeling so happy about it and feeling that sense of connection, and really feeling like the things that I do and that I want to do actually make such an impact on people personally and directly. And, you know, sometimes I forget that there's so much going on that's not seen or heard or is noticeable on the physical plane, but your words and your actions and your choices, and most importantly, your own energy, your vibration, has such an immense effect and impact on the people around you, the people you surround yourself with on a daily basis. And on top of this conversation, another regular called me over to sit next to him, and he said, I want you to close your eyes. I have something for you. And I closed my eyes, and he's like, open your hands. And I did, and what he put in my hands was prayer beads. And he said, you know, I just got back from my trip to Mecca, and I got these prayer beads for you, and I personally blessed and prayed over them in the temple, the sacred temple, and I'm so honored and thrilled to give these to you. And I mean, I really feel like last night was just a validation or an encouragement from my higher self and the universe and all the rest of the beings who are here watching. Just saying that, you know, you are loved and you are appreciated, and your work is having such an immense effect on people. And I have no clue why I'm crying so much about this, but it's just from feeling this amount of love and respect. And so I wanted to share this because there are times in my own life, regardless of how far I've come in my own spiritual journey, where it's difficult or I find it hard to speak the truth or to really openly express this love and compassion in the better and higher way out of judgment or fear or exhaustion sometimes of saying what's the point, or the feeling that, like, you know, for once it would be nice to be appreciated in an openly expressed way, because of course I know it's always coming, but you know, with your brothers and sisters here on this planet, you know, sometimes you don't necessarily want to feel alone. And last night was just a beautiful validation and a gift. It was a gift of encouragement and to continue and find the strength and the fortitude to not want to hide or sacrifice or compromise on the greater truth and knowing of the beings that we are, which is love, and to accept anything less than that. So I want to share this because I want to use it as inspiration for you if you ever feel like you are withholding your true light or your true self, or you think that you don't have an impact or you can't make a difference, because you do every day with the words you choose and the way you do things and the people you choose to surround yourself with. We are all interconnected, and ultimately in this co-creative process, each person contributes equally, for there is no hierarchy in the being, regardless of how spiritual or awakened you believe yourself to be, or how spiritual or awakened you think another person is. So yeah, it was such a beautiful day yesterday, and so many wonderful things. And I mean, on top of that, I also saw a friend after the meetup and saw him perform to go out of support, and his love and appreciation and respect that he expressed to me afterwards was noticeable and received and acknowledged. And yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, anyways, I don't have very much to say after this, but I'm gonna post a little bit of my recording so you guys can hear a little bit of what I did on Saturday. And this is your first time, or not your first time, listening to one of my videos, press the subscribe button. Follow along with my journey. I hope to be capturing a lot of stuff about what I do in life, spiritually related, musically related, and my own perspective and thoughts and experiences, and how they are shaping my, my life, my world, and these experiences, and how I'm choosing to use them to expand my consciousness and help others do the same. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I love you.